Hi there, this is a video to show you and tell you a little bit about the fish mask that was released, well, at least when this video is being made, fairly recently by Jagex as part of a Squeal of Neptune option, which is kind of odd, but it was a Squeal of Fortune Hua thing. The fish mask is the first rare released by Jagex in a very long time, and it is indeed a rare, at least not, well, it is going to be. It is already guaranteed going to be. It basically is now, but what Jagex has said, as unless if you're a common Runescape player who knows anything about Jagex, they've always claimed to hate making the rares such as party hats and Halloween masks and all of that, because they're just items that are overvalued for what they really are. I mean, they look cool, don't get me wrong there, but they don't really do anything versus, like something like a divine has some great effects, which is why it's so expensive. But anyways, the fish mask, they have said after the summer months of 2012, it will be removed from the Squeal of Fortune, and the only way to get it will be by another player. So the fish mask will be the RuneScape's newest rare. Let's see, I'll go through a little bit about it. The price now, I'm not really sure. The price, honestly, like any rare, varies based on the street price, but the price as of now might be fun to look back at someday. So it's about 1.1 mil now, GE price. I think they go about 3.6 to 4.5 mil in the street price currently, but that's probably going to change because it's a rare, and you never know what the market is really going to do. But the fish mask looks kind of funny. I mean, it's the kind of item where I see it, especially right here, like what it looks like just as an item, and it just makes me happy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because like half of my head just suddenly got turned into a fish. It looks like someone chopped like a fish's body off and just like shoved a face onto their nose, just like "Rauer IBC le Hugfish." So that's it. It doesn't have any stats or anything. That's pretty obvious. No rares do. They're just cosmetic items, or I mean, unless it's like a pumpkin, in which case you can just say, "I have a pumpkin." Yeah, the fish mask does have some interesting qualities that make it perhaps a little more interesting than the previous rares, the rares of past, and that's one of which is when it's equipped, there's a one-click option to do an emote for blowing bubbles. I'll zoom in here and give you a little closer look at what that looks like, but basically some bubbles come out of your face, and I'm not sure where those are coming from. Maybe the fish like has an asshole behind its mouth that it's blowing gas out of or something. I'm not really sure. But that emote you can just follow someone, and it's just awkward when you're just sitting there with half a fish on your face blowing bubbles from some backwards fish ass. So I don't know. I've always thought it was fun. Just the way it looks is always interesting. What I would say about the market for them, because people are always saying, you hear everything from it's never going to be a party hat all the way to, oh, it's going to be 10 mil in 2 months, so buy it now. My opinion on the matter is that it is in fact a rare. So once they are gone, they probably will raise in price, because what will happen is the numbers of them will decrease and demand will, people will want them, and as accounts get banned, people quit, people drop them, people elk them, people die with them, whatnot. Their number of them will decrease, or at least it will never increase, and as the number of players increase, the demand does go up. So the price probably will go up eventually. The only problem is, unlike the party hats and the Halloweens of old, Jagex has told us this is going to be a rare. So people are going to stock up on them, people are going to get lots of them, especially with the ability to buy spins. At least now, I mean, they're rare, so it's a little less likely that you're going to get it, but when they were uncommon, you could get a lot if you bought like 500 spins, and suddenly you have tons of masks that you can hoard. So, since it's a guaranteed rare, it's never going to be a party hat. There will be too many of them for that to happen. People are hoarding them. The whole reason rares are rare is because people toss them out because they were useless. They don't do anything. They sit up there with no stats, and they look kind of cool, but meh, they didn't care. So what? They're worth 5k. And then as they all got rid of them, and only some people, especially with one of the biggest things is you had that switch from RuneScape Classic to RuneScape 2, and you had to make a choice. You had to say, do I want to take my items with me from Classic to RuneScape 2, or do you want to keep them in RuneScape Classic? If you kept them in RuneScape Classic, then congratulations, they're useless except for showing off to one of the 2 other people that might be online at any other given time in RuneScape Classic. If you did bring them over, which was very rare, then that's why they are rares, because there are not many of them left. The fish mask, there are tons of now, and people will hold on to them. They're not going to be stupid about it, because it is a guaranteed rare. So don't buy this and expect it to be 500 mil, at least not within a couple years. Maybe after 10 years or so, which is indeed how old some of these rares are. Maybe. I would just not put my faith in that. It might be nice to have, though, because it is a rare. And prices are going to vary. Who knows what it'll do? But I'm just going to say, don't get your hopes up about it being 600 mil and suddenly you're really rich. I guess one final thing I have to say about it that I haven't actually confirmed, but supposedly, if you're fishing while wearing the fish mask, fish will talk to you. I'm not sure how or why this happens, but they will. So that's one thing that makes it kind of funny. I guess it's funny when a little tuna goes up there and just like, I'll be silly fish, I grab onto your hand, and then you just like shove it in your ass pocket for later. So yeah, anyways, that's the fish mask. I hope this guide helps. My opinions might be wrong, you might have different opinions, so don't rage me for that, but my facts are sound that it's probably never going to be a party hat, but it will probably rise because there's a diminishing number of them. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you hit that little yellow subscribe button that takes a second, then you can see all my videos, but maybe that's not something you want to happen. Anyways, thanks for watching.